Good morning. Happy One Yard Wednesday. I'm Colleen from GE Designs. This is the show where we show you fun and creative ideas to use with great fabrics at fantastic prices. And today is no exception. We have 6 1-yard lengths, 6 1-yard fabrics, and a bundle to share with you. So wait till you see these fun fabrics. Just a note, the fabrics won't be live at the sale price until the show is finished. So sit back, relax, take a look at what we have to show you, and some great ideas from the GE crew on what to do with these fabrics. Let's look at the fabrics. The first fabric that we're looking at today is from Lewis and Irene. In fact, these are all Lewis and Irene. This is called Majolica, floral on garden green. So it's fun, folk-looking florals with mustards and oranges and greens and blues. Really fun and folksy, but contemporary at the same time. The next fabric is mustard, Ditzy Petals Mustard, and this is in 1-yard lengths. I love how the Ditzy mustard plays with the Majolica floral here. Love that. The next fabric is Ditzy Cream, Ditzy Petal Cream. So this is the creamy background with the blue that you see in the floral, and I love this one too. So we end up with a lot of color and a lot of value changes here. The next fabric is Ditzy Petal on Minty Green. I love this, and I love how it picks up the green from the floral. Really fun. These all play together really nicely. The next fabric is also Lewis and Irene. This is from a line called Folk Floral. And I think all these Lewis and Irenes play well together. I think you could mix and match these and make a really interesting quilt. Folk Floral on Iced Sage is the colorway of this one, and again available in 1 yards. The next one is Folk Floral on All Over Coral. So it has that corally orange here that you see in the iced sage background. Really pretty. So these are the 1 yards. These are the 6 1-yard fabrics that we have. Now let's take a look at the bundle. The bundle is a 15-piece bundle of the same fabric as you see here, the Folk Floral. There is an awful lot of color here, a lot of texture, some really interesting prints, and I think I could do a lot with this, and we have a lot of great ideas for you. And then these are the lights from that line. So in this collection, there are 15 half yards or 7.5 full yards for you to play with in the Folk Floral bundle. So you might be wondering, what would we do with this Folk Floral bundle? I did a little investigating, and I found a pattern that I think would be really great with Folk Floral, and it's right behind me. This is called Casanova from Strip Your Stash. Now, obviously, this is a different colorway, a different look altogether, with lots of brights and the white background, but you can imagine how these fabrics would play in this block that looks somewhat traditional, like a traditional log cabin block, which is really one of my favorites. So you would put a contemporary spin on a log cabin block with these really fun and folksy folk floral prints. There is a lot of fabric here, and I think these would be just great. In fact, the 4 light half yards would be sufficient for the background in this quilt to make a lap-size quilt. So I posted the question to the GE crew. Which GE quilt would you make using the Folk Floral bundle? Here's what they said. First of all, they were all super excited to come up with ideas to use here. The first person that we're picturing here is Bailey. Bailey said she would use the crooked patch from Stripology Mixology. Again, a kind of a traditional block in a new way. Karen pulled a strip pattern. She would use strip off with these traditional prints. Kara said, I would use Katrina from Stripology Mixology 3 and remind you that there's a class coming up for that. Carrie said she would use Nina's Supersized, and that would be a great use of this quilt. Kinsey would use Valerie. Again, traditional and contemporary vibe there. They would go together great. This is Nick and Adam. Nick would use Clarissa and Adam would use Saga. These guys are great quilters too. There's Savannah and Kobe. They collaborated and came up with Lexi, which would be, again, a beautiful use of folk floral. Blanca is challenging me to do something we don't have a pattern for, so watch for something unique coming from Blanca and I in the near future. The last person I think on the list is me, and I am looking at the Casanova quilt behind me. I still love that. The log cabin block is really one of my favorites. I hope you had as much fun as I did looking at what the GE crew came up with, and I have to say they were all super excited to be asked and readily came up with those great ideas. Just goes to show how we all have that creativity inside of us. Let's look one more time at the bundle and the 6 1-yards that make up today's show. The bundle is right here in front of us, and these are the fabrics that I think would make great background. They are light enough to stand apart from the rest of this line. That would give you a nice lap size quilt. I really love this whole bundle. Of course, everybody had great ideas, but think about Casanova from Strip Your Stash. Then looking at the 1-yards, the first one here is Floral Damask on all over coral. So that orangey coral look with the beautiful white foliage and that little bit of green. I love this one. Folk Floral on Iced Sage. Again, the green, the orange, the white, just really pull together and make an interesting combination. These would make great strips. The print is small enough to really hold its own in a strip, or great bigger blocks as well. And then we have Majolica Ditzy Petal on Minty Green. These are great blenders. I would add this to my stash. I can imagine all kinds of applications for these ditzy petals. And then Ditzy Petal on Cream, so that's a little bit of a blue petal on the creamy background, almost leaning toward a gray, and you can see how it picks up in the folk floral line. Ditzy Petal on Mustard. This is a really fun yellow. It's a dark, bold, golden yellow, so it's going to work in lots of mixed bundles. And finally, Majolica Floral on Garden Green. So these are the folksy looking flowers that pull all the other colors in. This is a really beautiful fabric. I hope you enjoyed seeing these fabrics. Beautiful fabrics at great prices, and the GE crew came up with some great ideas for how to use it. I think all of them are wonderful. My favorite is still Strip Your Stash. It's the Casanova pattern, so grab it. Grab your Stripology ruler, grab these fabrics, and make yourself something wonderful. I'm Colleen, that's Mr. GP producing, and we hope you have a great day. See you next time.